Well, we're heading out to cut more first crop. Dad cut some earlier. It's May 19th, one day before we cut last year. Last year we cut on the 20th. The alfalfa was budding out, and that's prime real estate to be chopping dairy silage. So we're gonna knock out some more acres. We got about 25 down. I'm probably gonna cut another 18, 16 tonight, and then we have another 10 to 15 here at home if we need. We're gonna chop 2 bags, hopefully. And then we should get 5 crops again this year if the weather, it actually rains this summer, you know. So, yeah, let's get going. As you can see, it's already been going with the New Holland. Here we are in the 4th round. If anybody wants me to make a video of the New Holland 313 versus the 835 Moco, I might just do that. There's a lot of things I like about this vine, and there's also a lot of things I don't like about it. There's things I like about the John Deere one, and there's things I don't like about it. So I don't know which one's better at this point. They both cut hay though, so that's a start. But yeah, we're in B4, about 2,000 RPM, not quite PTO speed. Just going along. Tomorrow afternoon we'll start chopping. Hopefully we can get it all done this weekend. So then we'll wait a week and a half, 2 weeks before we make any dry hay. We like to get that more mature, because if you cut this and you try to make dry bales out of it, it seems like you're never going to get it dry, and then you really don't get the tonnage. You don't really, for us, we don't need as much quality for the dry stuff as we do the silage. So yeah. Well, so I made an adjustment on this thing that I never had to yet. I don't know if you can tell, but up here, when you go a certain direction, it leaves it long and stringy because it's tipped over. Well, right here, see that cylinder? You literally just lift the mower up, pull the pin, and put the pin in the other slot to let that cylinder tilt the header down a little bit, and you just put the clip in. The John Deere, you'd have to get a wrench. You'd have to loosen, if I remember right, both jam nuts, and you'd have to turn that turnbuckle a shit ton, and it always turned hard, and then you tighten the jam nuts up. This thing, 10 seconds, and you can change it. Now, you might not be able to fine tune it as much, but I don't care. This made a hell of a difference. But, wow. Easy. here it is, mowing along. Like I said, last 2 years we've been cutting earlier than usual, but like here's the top of my kneecap and it's above that, so honestly some dairy people will say it's probably already too far gone, but yeah. Ever since I made that change to let that mower nosedive a little more, it kind of hurts your knife life, but when you're getting big strings out here, I don't know what you're supposed to do, so I adjusted that. So if you look at all these, obviously if you're cutting the opposite way, it's blown down, you're gonna pick it up real good. But these first couple, you get kind of this stuff in there. See how it's longer? That was on my outside passes. And then ever since then, of course every other pass is gonna be good. Like here's some there, but that's a hell of a lot better. So here's the windrow. I mean, it ain't super wide, but this thing can really get it narrow. It's a taller windrow, like I said. But there's the alfalfa there. Smells real nice, honestly. So this is first year alfalfa. This was an oat field last year. If you look closely, you can actually still see the remnants of the oat stubble right there. So yeah, that other stuff we cut, that top one, that's 30 alfalfa. That one's second. This is first. They're all pretty good. We got this high growing alfalfa. It's expensive shit, but it really grows quick. So I'd say it's worth the money. I honestly think. Like last year we got 5 crops out of it, and the only time we ever got 5 crops was 2012, and that was a really early spring. So we're on track for 5 again, as long as it consistently can rain through the summer. We don't get a big drought or something, but yeah. Some good stuff, hopefully. Kind of getting stemmy, really. Like, look how big that stem is. So let's get back rolling. This ain't gonna cut itself. Well, we're all done for the night. Probably cut some more tomorrow night when we have a general idea of how much more we need. We don't want to cut any more in the narrow windrow than we have to, because you ain't gonna get it dry for dry hay in a narrow windrow. So we're gonna go home. I'm gonna unhook the planter. We don't even have the planter cleaned out yet. We're trying to make sure all the crops come up, which they're pretty much all up. The beans aren't up yet, but we'll just have to hook the planter back up the other day. All we gotta do is hook the pin up to move it. But get all the hoses, electrical, get the tractor off, get the 540 PTO on, fill her up, and then the 4450 will be ready to haul wagons. The tires are still set on the 30s, but this farm is not that steep, so it's fine. But when we go to the other farms, some of the hay ground we have is steeper than hell. And we round it with that tractor, and it's a little uncomfortable on 30s. It probably could do it, but I'm not gonna find out. So we'll widen it out back to 38s for this summer, fall, and then narrow it back up for planting in the spring. I got the hardest part done. I got the wedges broke loose. So, like, they should slide back out, no problem. But yeah, and then I gotta swap front tire side to side, and then it'll be right back to where it was. So I'll probably take the hubs off and just leave them off. Actually, I gotta put them back on for this fall, so I might as well throw them back on. To slide the tires, I gotta move the hubs, so it's a whole process. But here's the field. This usually is just one field, but we didn't want the whole thing in hay, so we left this part of the field in corn. So this is usually a 50, now it's split into 3. So there's a coyote we should have